Had a good day today. You know, here's what starts happening now, though. It's the multiples. You know, we put a lot in every day. The other side of the ball puts a lot in every day, and it just keeps growing and growing. The amount of mental decisions you have to make. And it's hard. It's hard on the young guys, but it's kind of whole teaching. I mean, you throw a lot at them, you see what sticks, then you kind of pick up the pieces and you throw some more at them. And I think the important thing when you do that is, number one, you got to recognize it takes an incredible amount of mental energy and mental effort to be a good football player. And that's investing a lot of time when you're not on the field. Second thing that's important, and I told the team this, is making sure you understand what is said and you're not focused on how it's said. Because in a practice, coaches are screaming, you're hollering, you're making mistakes, and so many young players, they get affected by how the message is getting passed on to them and not what the message is. And then the final thing is not getting frustrated. And I think a lot of these guys who are new out here, they're getting frustrated by the mistakes, and they can't get frustrated. You got to learn a little bit every day, and the cumulative effect over time is going to pay dividends for them. So that's all work in progress. It was a good second day, and the more important thing is we'll have a better feel for our team come Thursday when we put the pads on.
Coach, when you talk about seniors, talking about Prentice in the secondary and having the luxury to move in back to corner and just the overall depth there.
Well, we got a lot of bodies, but you know, don't confuse the word depth with being good. Depth means we have a lot of guys with some good skill sets that we could try to figure out who our best 4 or 5 guys are. And I don't know the answer to that. I mean, it's going to be a real puzzle back there because we got about 10 or 12 guys competing for 5 spots.
Does Rod seem like he fits in there, free safety, after playing a little bit?
Well, time will tell. He's certainly getting as good a shot as he's ever gotten. And so, you know, it's on Rod.
How much time had the coaches been around the players before you went out there Monday morning?
Well, we've been with them since signing day. A significant amount of time. The maximum amount of time we can be by NCAA rules. So we were working them out in the off-season program. We were having meetings. You know, everything within the rules of the NCAA we were doing, and that time's important. That's why I think the transition was pretty seamless. You know, the hardest part for a new coach when they come here is figuring out a practice schedule, where to be. It's confusing. Okay, it's really simple, but it seems confusing. But it was good because the players were kind of coaching the coaches on how to do it. They've been through it. But I think that time spent, it paid off.
You obviously hiring a defensive coordinator was a very important thing. You know, what about Sal did you want and did you like?
Well, it was really 2 things. Besides the fact that he's a great football coach. There are a lot of great football coaches out there, but number one, we've worked together. We were assistant coaches together, so I know what the core of Sal is. I know what he is as a human being. I know what he is as a competitor. I know how he coaches the players. And number 2 was he's been in a system and structure that's very similar to what we're doing. So those 2 things just made it a great fit for here. You know, there wasn't any personality issues. I didn't have to figure him out. He didn't have to figure me out. And then we talked the same language on what we were doing. So that really helped.
Derek, the guys all kind of seem to describe him as fire. He's fire. He's fire.
Yeah, he is.
How do you kind of see his personality melding with the group that you already had in place? Under different guys?
Yeah, very different personality, and that's why I say it's so important to listen to what is said, not how it's said. And you have to learn that, and that's an important thing.
Derek, what about Sal makes players want to play for him and play hard for him?
Well, I've always felt like that the really good coaches out there, the players know they care about them as people, number one, and number 2, they know they can help them play better by their knowledge of the game. And if you have those 2 things, I care about you as a person, and you got to prove that. You got to prove that off the field, but then you also have a level of respect about your knowledge of the game. They're going to listen to you because they know if they listen and do it the way you say it, they have success on the field. All right. We'll see you guys.